Alright.
Hey, this is team, I think 5 or 4. We made the game Just Live. Um, I contributed personally to creating the player, working on his movement. I did not contribute to his teleportation movement, but all of his attack, hitbox checks, looking to see if he's hit enemies, um, contributed towards that. Um, and I also made the sprites and animations for the player as well as the sprites for the enemies.
My name's Riley Bartlett. I worked on the entire end screen, so the text, the buttons, and the button logic for it. I also helped kind of solidify the idea and place of the game in total, and that's about it.
Hi, my name is Allison. I was in charge of uploading the sound effects for all the actions, such as jumping and then the fire. I feel like these audio elements help the game feel a little more enjoyable. And one of the biggest challenges I faced was trying to make sure that the audios were for use.
Alright. And then my name is Chase Coxon. I worked on mainly the enemy AI and like kind of like map detection. Um, so let me pull up this. So, all right, first, the idea of the game, Ronan kind of, this is his mind child. He started off with the idea of having kind of like a 2D, fighter based thing, and you can see that very much well alive in the final game concept. It's a 2D platform with, or 2D platformer with platforms, enemies, and your only goal is to not die and kill them. Uh, so that was the idea. Let's see. So we have right now the final goal is to kill 10 enemies. That could be adjusted at any time, and then you just want to survive. So if the enemies touch you once, you're dead. That was Ronan's hardcore idea. It's simple controls. Left arrow moves left. Right arrow moves right. Um, the up arrow teleports you up when you're inside of a portal, and then the down arrow teleports you down. The portal idea came because jumping um, meant we had to have animation and then some form of almost like a gravity in order to bring you back down to the platform, uh, which I did not want to do. So instead, it became a teleportation idea, and that also makes it to where you never have to mess with Y values of a character because they're on that. The character themselves can never, or the player can never change their Y values by themselves. The game does it for them, so that stops any bugs or jumping out of the map or things like that. So the 10 services we have are we have a background surface that's visible through all three stages of the game. We have a logo right here. And then if I can not die for a second, we have, as you can see, platforms. I think what do we have? Seven platforms, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 portals, and then we have the character, the enemies, the attack, and then the ground floor. Um, the 5 external files, each one of these grounds is different, and then we have the left and right look for the character, and then our little slime guys, and then the floor. Um, and then the two sounds we have are the Mario jumping sound, and then a little bit loud sound for throwing your fire down on the floor. Um, so the background is AI generated, and then everything else was hand drawn, and then the sounds were from Bitly open source and other open source websites online. Um, so the win condition right now, as it states um, on this home screen, is to defeat 10 enemies to win. Um, and then the lose condition is if you get hit once, you die, and you go to the screen where you can. It shows your scores, tells you, lets you know that you died, and then you get to play again if you want to, or you can exit the game out. Um, so some challenges that we came across. One that me and Ronan talked about extensively was the was having the enemy kind of walk towards the player. Because I was very worried that we would end up in the end having to create a sentient AI that would make smart decisions. But in the end, I ended up just having it to where it's a static. I had to create this, so like each level of the map, so you have like the floor level, the bottom level, the mid level, and the top level, which is constantly checked throughout the game by this check level function. And so it's kind of just this spaghetti. It's not. It's a lot. I think it's like 500 lines or some insane. I think it's like closer to 300 maybe. But it's just the entirety of it is just checking each time that an enemy, or like if the hero's above the enemy, it's okay. Well, how far is he? And then if he's at the top and I'm at the bottom, then I have to go to the lower and then the mid and then the top. So that was the biggest challenge for me. This took a while to grasp my mind around. And then another challenge that I don't know about you guys, but I struggled with a lot was the platform, and then the idea that when you're going down, your Y is going up, because usually it's the inverse. When you go up, your Y is going up. So that tripped me out the entire time. I still don't have a grasp on it. And then another thing that took me a while was the boundaries for making the player not be able to walk off, because of that exact reason. Having like the concept of the X's and Y's tripped me out a lot, so it's kind of hard to keep him on the platform. And then a challenge that Ronan came across when he was working for the player was having the player flip, because he was very adamant that, like, because I want to take the simple route and just have it to where whenever you when there's two choices to go, it just randomly chooses one. But he was very adamant of being a good game dev and make it to where it's player choice. So his challenge that he said he came across was flipping the characters so that it's facing right to go up, to go right and then left, and then that also led to a problem with the sprite, where like he was having a problem having the sprite look one way or the other, and then therefore its hitbox moving one way or the other. And then so that led to us having to change the idea for the character, because he wanted it to be a melee character, and then but having the hitbox and move with him was difficult, so we had to make it towards a mage firewall. Something that we would have liked to add if we had more time was power-ups across the map. That I think Allison talked about. Speed was one that she talked about. Maybe having the character be able to speed up and walk faster if we walked over one, or be able to attack faster. Having another thing that Allison came up with was different enemies that had different speeds. So you can have a bigger enemy with a larger hitbox that moved slower, and then a faster enemy with a smaller hitbox. And then player lives. So for a less hardcore experience, maybe you're not out the moment you get touched, and you can continue to play.
Character types.
Yeah, get character types. So having maybe if we're able to fix out the sprite facing left and right, we can have a sword guy or a guy with a bow or something along those lines. I believe that is all of the points. So now we just got to demo over the game. You've seen it a little bit. I'm really bad at it. The enemies are a bit too strong. That was another challenge I had. When I was first working with teleportation, it was hard to live long enough for me to be able to check if the teleporting was moving right, because they were so fast. They would like immediately go to the teleporter, and they would just fly towards you and slam you before I could even check if they were going to the right places at the right time. So I had to add like a stutter almost. It makes them like look like they're moving at a lower frame rate, so that they're not able to just fly anywhere. And then another thing we were talking about, the other challenge or gameplay thing that we had to leave in was I go up here. We gotta get them to spawn up top. Okay. See, you see it right there? They're so fast for no reason. There's no need for them to be that fast. I need them to spawn up at the top. Come on, spawn at the top.
You gotta kill him.
See, so as you can see, that guy on the right side, he was able to fly across the gap. I was not able to implement the bounds for the AI, because that would have then required me to then say, oh well, if he's on the other side of the platform, then I have to now go back up or go down and go back up, which I did not have time to do. So that was a challenge that we had to leave into the game. So now just a full demo. So we have the instructions up here to teleport up and down using the up arrow key or the down arrow key. And then you can kill 10 enemies to win, and then it's left arrow to move left, and then right arrow to move right, and then A to attack, and then A also gets you off this main screen. And the gameplay loop is a little bit pretty simple, but it's not it's really difficult. You can definitely just get you can just lose off a map if an enemy spawns at the wrong time when you're not ready, because it's on a completely random interval. So you can get this right now where they're super slow and they're embarrassing. Even then, I'm still really embarrassingly bad at this game. And then so once you die, I did kill enough enemies, so it does say that I won because I hit the 500 points. But it's not like a hard cap, so it's like not like once you hit 500 it takes you out. You can still, title the game Just Live. You can just survive for as long as you can. And then this is Riley's end screen, so you can retry the game, which then just calls the main loop back and you can restart, or you can just exit out the game. And then anytime while you're playing, if you don't enjoy it, you can just press escape, bring you to that menu automatically, and then from there you can exit out of the game. And I believe that is everything.